Thanks for staying. Now, beginning with the minority leader Alexander Fenyo-Makin has cautioned government against any fuel price increases arising from tensions in the Middle East. He added that such hikes will be unjustified following earlier assurances from government about adequate fuel buffers to cushion the country against external shocks.
Mr. President said the happenings in Iran will affect Ghana. Since when did you change your mind? Mr. Speaker, he said he has instructed the Energy and Finance Minister to monitor the situation for certain adjustments to be made. According to the President, Ghana has sufficient buffers. Let us see evidence of that. If indeed we have sufficient buffers, we don't expect any increase in fuel prices. Government must subsidize because in Akufo-Addo's era, you said Ukraine, Russia should not have any effect. You said it's 7,000 kilometers away. The bombs are not being thrown in Ghana. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't expect anything less.
Moving on to some other stories, minority members of the Budget Committee have expressed concern over a lack of transparency between the Ghana Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana regarding the Gold for Reserves program. The caucus says the reported loss of $214 million under the program is unacceptable and called on government to provide full explanation.
That the Budget Committee is concerned about is releases. In 2025, government failed to make releases. Releases were not going in at all. And then we also noticed that to some of the MDAs, there were no releases, but when they were coming in for the budget estimate, they were numbers being posted into the account. It was only on in the books, but when we found out from the agencies, they did not have the accounts in their various accounts. Then the ministry was like, oh, no, they should find out from the controller. It was the issue of controller. We are going to monitor and make sure that this government make releases, because if you have programs and you can't find your programs, then performance we cannot predict. But it's too early to conclude whether the government is going to do well or not. But mid-year is right around the corner. The mid-year, they will come out with their spending and we'll know that is where we'll be able to say more about how government is doing in terms of fiscal. There should be transparency because we asked the IMF.
Parting ways on today's edition of Business News at 4. The minority in Parliament has embarked on a working visit on the cocoa farmers in the Ashanti region. The delegation, led by Honorable Frank Dompre, the minority chief whip and the member of Parliament for Nsawema Dwejiri, alleged that the government has urged the LPCs to put on hold of the buying of cocoa beans. Speaking at the Palace of Ofinso Manhene, Nana Jamna Akenten II, during the Akwesidae, he said the tour is aimed at listening directly to the cocoa farmers and gathering first-hand information about the impact of recent producer price reductions, widely described by cocoa farmers as cocoa price haircuts.
Se yatoso yente so ewo adwaman mu no na bakosem ho beni se besepa ne koni haban wo kwan yetase no enti yen nyina edom kituwa yakokoye hu esukituwa yipabrem ya cheyemu ebinim betena mrahye bedwam ho na mo de mo nka mo brofo ho ye de ye ne ekuafo no eba bedin kita ho akwa akire yie ye wi a ensem a ekuafo no beka kire no ye bekuruche ni nyina de egu kratas na ye de akoma otumfo na asre no se odawoma onfa ne nyansa ne na ho de entakiri se be se yen ne ka won kran na ba mu mpanifo se be producer ebubu nwie egu omosu se yentie ewogidie se so otumfo ankasa de na no tumbia na de ya wo mu kra ne se koko akrachefo no aban mu mpanifo afro mo aka kire mo se ye de koko ne ba mamonto na je se abesinu ade ba besie mo mu nto koko no se ye mra no ontimi fa koko no se bi na woni mu ayentimi fa koko no enkoton no wodwe mu se de ton tomatoes e se ay asem kase na ato Ghana e fichire ha yi a ye Cote d'Ivoire fo yi ebi so amoton koko no aban penifo so akase wo ye Ghana ni na wo ye Ghana de hye na wati koko a ontimi fa ntra border fa Cote d'Ivoire onukuro ya so ontimi nkoton koko no ewo local market onukuro ya so mo se koko ekuafo mo mo nto ne koko.
That was Honorable Frank Dompre, the minority chief whip and the member of Parliament for Nsawema Dwejiri, and that's all for today's bulletin. For more news, do log on to the instrumentradio.com. I am Kekeli Loli Shine Afrifa. Have a good evening.
Thank you for listening.